What is going on, my friends? Today's video, I just want to simply talk about not letting fear or the fear of something stop you from doing anything else in your life. Now, of course, as always, I have my own story that I'm going to tell you guys that hopefully can relate a little bit and kind of get this point across a little bit better. But I just want you to think about it. Like, if at any point, any sort of social anxiety or any sort of fear to do anything new, any sort of like fear of failing or fear of social pressure or anxiety or whatever it is, if any of those things stop you from doing something that before those things had come up you wanted to do, then you're living a life that is not 100%. It's capped, it's handicapped, you know, because you're not allowing yourself to do things because of the fear of this crippling whatever it is, the fear of whatever it is. So here's my story, the thing that made me actually think of this topic. The other day, I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I was just thinking about when I first went to high school. Now, a lot of you guys have seen the story, a lot of you guys have not. I was homeschooled up until I was in 8th grade, actually in 7th grade, then I skipped over 8th grade and then went right into high school. Now, at the time, the original plan, the intent was to continue homeschooling me all through high school as well. But by the time I was in 6th, 7th grade, I was thinking like, damn man, I think I want to be around people. I think I want to be in a public school. Maybe the education won't be quite as good or whatever. The education value won't be as good, but I feel like I'm a good people person and I like being around people, so I want to be around people, right? So I knew that I wanted to go to high school, but there was this huge fear, this huge social anxiety, because I had never gone to a public setting where there were all these people I didn't know and I would be like judged by this and that and the other person, right? Currently, at the time, I, went to school with my mom, right? Like my mom was my teacher, I was homeschooled, and then I would go to soccer practice about 3-4 times a week. So I had like basically 10 to 15 kids on a team that were kind of my public exposure to other kids. And then of course I had like my 2 or 3 best friends. So that was kind of my like social life, which was great because even currently to this day I have 3 to 5 best friends. You know, it's not like I have a mazillion friends that I'm texting all the time. It's like I have my small inner circle. But at the time, I didn't know how school was gonna be, but I just knew I needed to be there. I knew I couldn't continue not being around all the people because I knew that, people were gonna be what my career laid in and whatnot. So I knew I wanted to go to high school. So I told my mom, I said, hey mom, I remember I was at McDonald's, I was like, listen to me mom, I need to go to public school. I know you don't want me to be in public school. I know you think there are a lot of bad influences there, but I gotta do it. So we went down to the high school that was in my district and signed up. And I remember, this is the part that made me think of this topic we're speaking on right now. I remember the crippling fear, and I'm not exaggerating, because now it's like, it's whatever. I could go to any college or whatever and just join it. It wouldn't be a big deal. I'd be like, whatever, there's 5,000 people here that are gonna look at me. Good for them, right? But back then, man, I was like, I walked onto campus and I was looking around, I was like, this place is huge, it's ginormous. I don't know what any of these buildings are supposed to be. I don't know how I'm supposed to get from one spot to another spot. I don't know anything. So I'm walking through campus thinking, just damn, this is so big, there has to be so many people here. I go to the registration office and it's very real, you know what I mean? There's like a person behind a desk, and like, you gotta think, like, I didn't know how any of the school system stuff worked. It was just so foreign to me, so new to me. So for me, it was just so freaking weird. And then I remember having to sign up for what classes I wanted to be in. Like, at that point, it was a very real experience. I was like, damn, okay, so here are my like normal ones, and I get to choose my electives. And I was like, what do I want to do for an elective? Like, what's the normal thing? What should I do here? Or I guess I just pick whatever. Like, it was just so weird. And then I just started thinking about, what's that first day of school gonna be like? What's it gonna be like? Because you sign up, you register maybe 2 months before school actually starts. So the next 8 weeks, I was just sitting there just like anticipating and just getting more and more anxious, thinking about the first day. I don't know how school goes. I don't know how it's supposed to run. Do I wait for a bell and then that's the first like announcement, and then I run to my first class and there's another bell or something? Like, is it all bells and stuff, or does someone tell us where to go? How do I know where the next thing is? We don't have a different schedule, right? So I don't follow anybody, I just do what I'm supposed to. How am I supposed to know what building I'm supposed to go to? How's the first class gonna be? Where do I sit? Is it all assigned? Do I just show up and sit down? Do I talk to the teacher first? What do I do, right? See what I'm saying? Like, you can really build up your anxiety and fear, and I mean, it's appropriate, right? Like, it's appropriate response. I mean, there's a lot going on, a lot coming, and this can relate to anything that you might be going through. Like, you could be going to a new college, you could be moving to a new place, you could be getting a new job doing something, you could be going into your first competition, you could be going into your first singing event, your first audition, your play, whatever it is. You could be doing anything, and this same type of fear and anxiety could be coming to you. But I'm telling you, man, like, nothing scared me quite as much as going to school for the first time, and not in like in a scared, like, oh, I'm gonna die, someone's gonna kill me. Not like that kind of a fear, but just like, damn, like, all of a sudden I'm gonna show up that first day. All these kids have been doing this for the last 8 years of their lives, and I've done this 0 times. So I'm gonna be walking in as a kindergartner into high school. It's gonna be very interesting. And then I remember that day before the day of the first day of school, that was a little tongue twister. I remember just sitting there like, can I even sleep right now? I'm gonna wake up at 6:30 in the morning, gonna get ready, gonna eat my bagel, and then I'm gonna go to school. I had like memorized the map so many times, and I was ready to figure out, how to get from the car I got dropped off to the first class, had all my stuff in perfect binders and stuff, and it was just so scary. And the whole time I had the ability to not go. I could say, you know what, I decided I don't want to. We could cancel it and then we could continue homeschooling. But I decided not to. And the point of me detailing all that was I just want you to understand and try to get into my head how much, like, the gravity, the perspective of fear that I felt. It was crippling, man. It was crippling. And there's things I do today that are still sort of like that. Not quite so crippling in fear, but there's a lot of things that come up in my life where I'm like, damn, I gotta go do that? That's a lot of pressure. Like, I gotta shoot this new CT video, and it's gonna be like, there's so much waiting on it, and they're like announcing it before it's even done and stuff. Like, it's gotta be perfect, right? There's a lot of anxiety in that. And other things I do too, of course, like I'll travel to certain places, or I'll try to set certain things like the YouTube house. I gotta set up this thing with 8 different people, and there's so much money on the line. I have to put up $4,000 on my own and just hope that it all works out and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that requires going out on a limb and experiencing a lot of fear or anxiety. And by doing those things though, by not letting the fear or the anxiety or whatever it is cripple you and stop you from doing whatever it is, you can advance yourself so much more. Because when you feel anxiety and fear and nervousness and stress and stuff, that's a lot of the time it's the fear of the unknown. It's like the fear of not knowing if it's going to work or not. You don't know. It could go excellently or it could go terribly. But by doing those things, you become more confident in your choices. You become more apathetic. You think you can do more. You believe in yourself more. And by believing in yourself more, you broaden your capabilities, because by knowing you can do more things, you can do more things. And by doing them, you become more confident, and that fear sort of goes away a bit. It doesn't go away all the way ever, but the amount of fear you experience becomes less, and the amount of fear that you can handle becomes more. So it becomes much more manageable, because you can handle so much more than you're actually experiencing at that point. Point being though, I feel like everybody should notice when they're being afraid of something, when they're experiencing extreme fear or anxiety on a certain subject, and after you realize that, after you analyze that, try to understand why you're experiencing those things, and then just do them. Do them. Prepare yourself as best as you possibly can, but do them. Never let them handicap you or slow you down or stop you from doing what you want to do, because by doing them, you will advance yourself so much. When I went to high school, man, it was nerve-wracking. The first semester was so terrible, man. I even remember at a certain point in the first semester, I even ate my lunch with the body shop guy, the whatever you call that, like auto repair teacher, because I just didn't have anywhere to go for the first little bit. Like, I was still trying to find my friends and stuff. So, certain days when I couldn't find friends to hang out with, I would just go over to Mr. Bowden's and eat with him and talk and chat with him, because he knew about cars and I knew about cars, so it was kind of fun. But it's okay, because I just did it. And even though it wasn't the best, I did it. I got used to it. Then the next semester I had friends. The next semester I was cool with my friends. And the next semester it was like, dude, I don't even care about high school. Like, chill out. Like, everything's chill. I have my good friends. I have my things going on. People respect what I'm doing. Things like that. So by doing the fearful thing, it was the best thing I could do. Same things happened with me in college. Same things happened to me with my first competition. Same thing happened with me with YouTube. Same thing happened with my first professional endeavors when it comes to cinematography. Like, there's a lot of pressure and fear on the line. There's a lot of like very specific things that you need to do, and it all works out because you do it. But when you don't do it, that's when you fail. And when you fail, it'll make it easier for you to fail in the future. But by doing it, it'll make it easier for you to succeed in the future, because you just always do it. I know I just rambled a bunch in that video, but I think my point got across in a way. Maybe not as concise and as quick in a way as I possibly could have made this video, but my point just being, do the things that you fear. So I hope this video kind of can relate to you guys. I hope you guys have something in your life that you've experienced or are experiencing now that this perspective, this idea, this ideology actually like matches into and fits in very well. I would like to hear what you guys have experienced or are going to experience or are currently experiencing that caused you fear or social anxiety or anxiousness, whatever it is. I want to hear what it is, and I want to try to understand what you guys are going through. So if you could leave it in the comments below. Who knows, maybe someone else in the comments will be experiencing the same thing as you, and by you commenting it'll help them out, and maybe they won't even comment, but you don't know, you've changed someone's life. So please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this topic. If you enjoyed this topic, please give it a thumbs up. I love doing these Monday talk videos. I love like thinking over the weekend about my perspectives, my ideas, and trying to come up with the best way to present them, and then sending them off to you guys, and then having you guys give me repartee about it, like responding to me and expanding my idea and kind of giving me feedback and kind of helping me like expand what I'm thinking. So I appreciate you guys coming in here, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week. CT.
Lift heavy or die, MIRIN, motherfucker.